All right, how's everybody doing? So I
Was
want
there
to talk
something?
about Ramza, show you some cool stuff. I mean, the game's been out forever, but there is new players, so you never know. You never know. All right, so Ramza, we are level 99. This is max level, and this has been a peer class, 1 through 99 peer class, a solo class. This is Squire, and then Gallant Knight. Basically the same, although in Chapter 4 he gets upgraded after 30 years. Finally, he gets the respect he deserves. And he becomes a Gallant Knight, just like his papa. So, um, yeah, so the growth will be the same. Let's say you hit 99 in Chapter 2. Your growth will be the same, although your stats will be different in Chapter 4 because not only did he get class upgrade, he got 15% magic increase. So 15%. In the older games, on the, well, let's start with the OG, the PlayStation, you would have 5 extra HP, so you'd get that bonus, but that was lowered in the War of the Lions and all the other versions that they did, the 100 versions of the War of the Lions. So it went from 25 to 20, or 125 to 120. So the stats would basically be the same, only that in the PlayStation he'd have 5 extra HP. Um, his move is 4. It may not seem important or like much, but that's really good. Some classes only get 3, like our darling Agrias here. She only has 3 move, 3 jump. Super slow. She could only get move plus 2. So if you wanted to, let's say, do something like Mana Front, look at that. Terrible. 3 move, 3 jump. Should have just stayed at home. But if you want to do it on Ramza, you're at 4. And 4 is like, I mean, you want to have higher, but 4 is like, okay, it's reasonable. So, I mean, that's really good. I think a lot of people may be aware of that or overlook it, but it's pretty solid. On top of the fact that the males can learn move 3, and then of course they also can wear perfume, which is crazy. Ribbons, crazy. Ramza has good HP already. Drop a ribbon and max him. Look at that. 550. Crazy. So that's another thing. That's another way Ramza got a power increase. So through gear, to do 2 extra points of magic, of course. So his 99 stats in the previous games would be 16 strength, 15 magic, 12 speed, and then of course the 5% HP difference, but that's not much. But now in the Gallant Knight and the remaster, it's 115% magic modifier, so that bumps us up to 2 points, which is pretty substantial. I mean, I don't know anybody that just wouldn't want 2 extra points or something. That's cool. And fortunately for him, all of his best stuff is magic. He also gets male and female growth. So, cute little ladies here, our little girlies, they're better for magic classes. They get higher magic and MP growth, and then the dudes get higher physical attack and HP growth. Ramza gets the best of
What is
both
it?
worlds, and now he's getting 2 extra magic. So super good, super awesome. Let's do the abilities here. A lot of these that I don't have purchased are because I don't like them clogging up the menu, or I just don't use them because they're way too OP. Focus is a super OP skill. You get it, chapter 1, first class. You start with, in that class. It's one of the first things you should buy between JP and move. But focus, it's 1 2, maybe 3 turns before you get in melee range. You can start whacking things with the stick. Well, those are free turns that you just pump up your strength. Again, 3 strength is massive, especially early game when you're sitting at 4 and 5 and 6. I mean, it's so super OP skill. Rush we use, it's good. It's 100% accuracy attack. The damage does, you know, it varies like an axe or a flail, but we're using it for 100% hit, you know. Throw stone, I mean, it's solid. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's a ranged attack. And 4 spaces, pretty solid. Salve, don't use. Tailwind, we don't use that because it messes with speed. Anything that messes with speed is way OP. So we don't use it. Chant's good because it will allow you to heal. You know, it's not an MP based and it's not magic based. So are you now? So for example, Worker 8, she has 0 faith. She doesn't believe in anything, doesn't even care about magic. What's that? Don't know, doesn't bother. So you can't cast protect or raise, cure, anything like that on her.
Was there something?
Channel work. Same thing with, I mean, the Biblos can kind of do the same thing, but
Very
yeah,
well.
it's nice to use chant, especially if they're undead or something like that. It's
Yes.
super good. Steel, it's only used for increasing your bravery. Anything that messes with bravery and faith is also banned for me because it's super OP. High bravery is going to affect things like katanas, knight swords, and it's also going to make these skills mega OP. This is another banned skill. So Blade Grasp, it turns your bravery stat into your evade stat. So 97 brave, 97 physical evade. It's crazy. So we don't use any of that stuff. Steals out. Shout. Shout's the best skill in the game. Easily. However, you're going to need several turns for it really to matter. But again, it's kind of like focus. You know, you're 1, 2, maybe 3 turns melee range. Once you start getting end game, that not as many turns, but it's still crazy. It increases your speed, your bravery, physical and magical. Super insane. So therefore, we don't use it. I also do not use auto potion, kind of OP. No Hamido. First strike, OP. No blade grasp, for reasons I explained, OP. So you don't even need to use shields. You don't need to use parry. You don't need to give up your accessory slot for a cloak. It's just ridiculously OP. And then of course we have abandon or reflexes, just as OP as blade grasp, really. I mean, your final cloak is 40-30. Put that on, it's doubled. You're looking at 80-60, way OP. So we don't use those. So now that's out of the way, let's get into the builds. We'll do that last. We'll do this one. So the first build I'm going to go over is something that's unique to Ramza alone. He's the only class in the game that can rock swords, flails, and of course robes. As you can see here, we're not using blade grasp. Otherwise you would use this always. It would be like in every character. Every character would have blade grasp or reflex, but we're not doing that. So yeah, so we're going to do Dragonheart. If you get hit, it'll give you re-raise. So I think that's reasonable. You have to take the hit or dodge it or whatnot. So dual wield, you're going to need dual wield for this so that you have your ice brand and your flail. The way this works is you're using the black robe. So it's a boost of fire, ice, and lightning. This is ice, this is fire, so this will be a 25% increase to your stat here. So to increase 25%, pretty good. The ice brand is technically the best sword in the game that you could buy. The rune blade has 1 extra attack and 5 extra parry and 2 MP, but this is magic, this is physical. So an ice brand with a black robe or 108 gems, tons of damage, tons of damage. And it has a good weapon damage calculation. You don't need bravery, you don't need faith, you don't need speed. It's just straight 16 times 13, 25. So you can see the damage is quite high. And then we have the Flail of Flame. So same deal, only this has a, the damage will vary. It's all right. I mean, we're doing a theme build here. Unique to Ramza, only character in the game that can rock this. The flail is 11 attack, so it's not too far off from 13. The damage will vary, but whatever. Black robe, you need that. Again, we're gonna go speed, thief hat, and then you're going to have your accessory for your flex slot. Since we're not using blade grasp, and parry won't work because we're only getting 10% parry from the weapon. That's not nearly enough. You would just do the dragon heart, and of course your feather weave cloak. So that's going to give you your 40% evasion from front, sides, and back, and then you're getting an extra 30 magic. So it's not too important, the magic here, but the 40% evade. I mean, there's no defense stat in the game. Your HP is technically your defense. There's also the defense up, which will decrease that by half. But your defense is basically your HP. The more you have, the more hits you take. Pretty straightforward. And then the other form of defense would be evasion, and that's what shields and cloaks give you. So this is the build here, and then for your secondary, I would just do throw. So shurikens and the bombs. Let's see. So these are your bombs here, and they are elemental. Water, we're not, none of this stuff matters really, but hey, it's there, I guess.
Yes.
Why not? Or you could use whatever you want, really. Items. Doesn't matter. So that's that one. Kind of cool. I mean, other characters can go dual wield with swords and daggers. So Beowulf can use daggers. So that would be, these are wind daggers. And then Icebrand, you can go dual wield Icebrand, but other classes can do that. Nobody can do fire and ice. If you're gonna go the dagger route, then you have to give up your accessory slot, because the black robe does not increase wind damage, only fire, ice, and lightning. So alright, let's do the summon. So Ramza has really good stats for this. As you could see, 516 HP. It's solid. It's actually really high for a caster, to be honest, because technically this is going to go caster here. So 500 HP on a caster, and he has 200 MP. I did get a good growth seed, so it put me over 200 here. Otherwise, you'd have to rock this. But why do we want over 200? Well, that's because we're going to be using Zodiark. And 99 MP, so you get 2 casts. Or you can do 2 Odins, 1 Zodiark. Basically the best range. I mean, you can do Bahamut, but then, you know, 60-60, that's 120. You don't got enough. So I would just do Odin or Leviathan, I guess, or Salamander. But I just do Odin. If you want to just do Zodiark, you got 2 casts before you need to get topped up. Again, High Ethers, they restore 50 MP, so you're gonna need to chug 2 of those. Have somebody douse you with them. But having 2 casts of Zodiark is pretty good. You can do the Hall of MP, but it's a super slow spell, and the only thing that increases cast speed is quick cast here, quick charge, swift spell. Your speed stat has nothing to do with this, so you'd have to give it up. I do swift spell, that gives me 2 casts of Zodiark, or 2 Odin, 1 Zodiark. Give you enough time to get some MP back through items or through chakra, what have you. Parry, using a rune blade, it has 15% parry. It's decent. It's not as high as a shield would give you, or a knight sword. We're not going to use knight swords, we want the magic. I'm also building for speed here, so speed shoes, Thief's Cap. Now these don't directly increase the cast speed of your spell, but it gives you more turns, allows you to reposition, and then, you know, once Zodiark goes off, boom, you're ready to roll and, you know, drop another one. So we're going Rune Blade, we're getting 2 extra magic, doing the Aegis Shield, 1 extra magic. Thief's Cap will give us 2 speed, and it puts us over 200, so nice. And then we have the Luminous Robe getting us to 200, and then the shoes. So he just goes in there. The movement can be whatever you want. You can do Mana Front, I mean, if you want, but I like to move and then just to get topped up. I mean, you're normally just blowing things up. Zodiark hits really, really, really hard. Odin, you're going to need like 2 casts to drop something. And then on Tactician, you know, obviously you're going to need more and more casts, and you're going to be building a little different. But this is what I would use for the Summoner Ramza. You can do some variations if you want. You can do more magic through Lamet Hat, and then shoes, there you go, 5 move, 22 magic, Mana Front. Then you could use the new super OP sword, which is 4 magic. I mean, Cloud's not using it, he doesn't need it at all, really. It's kind of weird that they made it for him, but he doesn't need it. He just needs a Materia Blade, that's it. So you can do something like that. 216 MP if you can't crack the 200 threshold, and you're at 24 magic, 13 speed. I mean, speed doesn't affect the spell, so this is what I'd use. And then the last build would be the Samurai build, probably his best one. So again, stats at 99 are 16 physical attack, 17 magic, and 12 speed. As you can see, we're at 25 magic here. So he's getting 2 extra from the remaster and the Gallant Knight. And then if you want to go crazy, do the Materia Blade, so you're up 10 points of magic. 4, 1, well, 5, 6, 8, 10. I mean, you can do that. Same. You want more HP and magic and whatever. Lordly Robe. OP end game gear. This all the stuff that I use can just be bought from the store, so very strong. And we have our support slot open for magic boost. So magic boost is a 33% to your damage, to your magic. So super high. You can go there. There's your survivability. You went 26. But yeah, and we're using Yido. You don't need these. You could probably get this one until you get your Muramasa in chapter 4. So this is what you would use chapter 3. I just don't have them because, again, I don't like things clogging up the menus, but you use this, and then these are the last 2 damage ones that you get in the shop. So this is basically the monk's shockwave attack. So as you can see, it's 8 tiles, so that's 8 spaces. Super long range, just snipe everything. This is your best damage one from in groups, Confusion, Doom. These with magic up, and his magic stat is just insane damage. You have healing, you have protect and shell, and if you kill Sephiroth, if you steal from Sephiroth, let's see, who's a samurai?
I'm here.
You can get his Masamune, and that is haste and regen. Super OP. You just buff yourself. And just kill everything with your draw out. You can go in the deep dungeon. You can get one of these. You could also look for ninjas to start throwing them at you. That's where you get all these Chaos Blades, Ragnaroks, Excaliburs. Get the ninjas to throw them at you if you're worried about your draw out breaking. Then again, we have autosaves now. I mean, they made the games like so much easier. So you have autosaves for poaching and katana breaking, and so pretty crazy. These are the builds that I use for him. Got a lot of power increase. You get this extra special sword here. So your regular rune blade is going to be 2 magic. The Materia Blade is 4 magic. Cloud's not using this. I mean, you shouldn't give it to him. Do what you want, but I mean, it's a waste on him. You shouldn't give it to him at all. Someone else can use it. Agris, if she wants to do a white magic. So yeah, this is a lot of power. You have your ribbons, perfumes, your 4+ magic sword. You get your 2 extra magic from the Gallant Knight, so pretty crazy. Yeah, that's it. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Take care. Bye bye now.